Yeah, it's a normal political activity of President Zelensky. Of course, everybody understands that President Zelensky is semi-independent, as a dependent being leaders of Afghanistan before Taliban took power there. So Ukraine is not an independent country, and Vladimir Zelensky just puppet of the United States of America. It's absolutely clear fact. And Ukraine democracy and sovereignty have been finished in 2014 when last democratically elected president of Ukraine, Viktor Yanukovych, had been overthrown by military coup and illegally and unconstitutionally have been broken from the power. And now Vladimir Zelensky working for his employees, who is United States of America.
Mr. Markov, it is an independent country. It is an independent country, and Vladimir Putin said it was Vladimir Putin said it was to be a liberation. It is no such thing. It is a brutal invasion of an independent country. It is a breach of international law, and it is quite possibly a war crime. How can you still support what is happening in this country?
You know, you're not asking question. You are, repeating different propagandistic theses. And as I mentioned, liberation from neo-Nazi group, which is very well known and which imposed terror. We are very much regret about few thousand people who have been killed after beginning of military operation in Ukraine for the liberation of those countries from neo-Nazi. But we're also very much sorry about dozens of thousands Ukrainian citizens who have been killed by criminal Ukrainian regime, which have been imposed to country after the military coup of 2014. Why you want us to forget about this, something about 40, 50,000 killed people? Why? Why you suppose those to kill them?
But there is no evidence. But Mr. Markov, there is no evidence. There is no evidence of a genocide, as Vladimir Putin has called it. There is no evidence that Ukraine. There is no evidence that Ukraine is a threat to Russia. Where is the justification for this war? Honestly, where is the justification for killing what is hundreds of civilians?
Ukraine no threat to the Russia. Ukraine is brother country to Russia, which have been occupied. The threat for Russia is occupation, militant, neo-Nazi regime, which is threat to Russia and also threat to the Ukrainian people. And democracy of and freedom is which Joe Biden mentioned. Is same for the Zelensky and others as for the junta in Chile, head by General Pinochet, who also have been fully supported and imposed by United States of America. This junta in Kiev, same as junta in Chile, which also have been fully supported. Right?
Let me just ask you this: how does it sit with you that you are on television being an apologist, effectively, an apologist for an international leader who is becoming a pariah, who is becoming isolated in the world? How does that sit with you, really, in your heart? How do you feel about that?
I feel myself quite fully about the catastrophe of Europe and America, which we could see now. Why you support neo-Nazi terror in Ukraine during these 8 years? And also we know very well that only NATO members and close dependent partners of the United States, such as Australia, Japan, and South Korea, supported anti-Russian sanctions. No one country in the world support anti-Russian sanctions except members of NATO and those countries who fully depend on United States. So the war
I think the only people who support President Putin is Syria and maybe Belarus rather, and maybe Syria. They're the only countries that support President Putin in what he's done.
No, No.
I think maybe Eritrea. I think I may be wrong. Eritrea.
You should know that no one country joined anti-Russian sanctions. Yes, they're afraid of United States, they're afraid of European Union, so they didn't support Russia so publicly. But Russia, they support Russia, but not joining anti-Russian sanctions. Nevertheless, great pressure from United States of America and European Union.
Okay, Sergei Markov, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.